Okay, this is really intimidating because I've never done a video before and the room is empty and I am talking to no one and I feel like my housemate is going to get home any minute and think I'm talking to myself, which I do. So we're in my living room, which is where I do all my arting. This is the place, that's my lap desk that I put my computer on, and bookshelf and various posters. There's Bilbo! This is the couch where I sit all the time, my exploding TARDIS blanket. This is my tablet. A lot of you ask what I draw on. This is it. It's not super big, but it works, and if you can see, for whatever reason I usually draw right there, and there's kind of a little patch that's being worked away, but that's okay. It'll survive, because it's tough. But anyways, that's my tablet. Wacom Bamboo Touch and Pen, I think. Though I disabled the touch function because it's annoying. And now that you've got this setting, I will actually answer questions like I'm supposed to and stop being weird. Black Butterfly E asks, how long have you been drawing for? What's your favorite thing to draw? I've been drawing since I was a little younger than 10, because it was about when I started watching Digimon, and I went to my cousin's house and I was like, what's this weird thing that like Digimon looks like and Sailor Moon looks like? And they were like, oh, it's anime, and I was like, I want to draw that. So they kind of sort of mentored me through drawing it. So I started very much anime mode and have kind of transitioned away from that since then. My favorite thing to draw is faces, because they're easy and you don't have to worry so much about anatomy, and they're really expressive. I think I have a sketchbook. Yeah, see? A lot of faces, not a lot of bodies. I'm trying to find... Oh yeah! There's an unfinished... Can you see it? Reese and Ishmael from the Ishmael virus! Yay! If you've been reading that. I like drawing faces. Lots of faces. Okay, second question. Which show did you see first? Supernatural, Sherlock, or Doctor Who? Asked by Bexy Who. I saw Doctor Who first in college. A bunch of my friends were into it, and we would just watch it in the basement of our dorm every week. So that's how I ended up watching Doctor Who. What inspired you to start making art in the first place? I mean, I liked art in elementary school, like the class. And then, like I said, primarily it was my cousins being all into art and anime and me wanting to be like my cool older cousins and draw a lot, which is ironic because most of them don't draw now. I'm kind of the only one who stuck with it, but it was a good starting point, so yay. Oh, that was Vulcanized Humanity who asked that. Hi. Early returns. Hey, what's your life goal? You have this awesome comic and pursue writing IRL, but where do you want to be in 5 years or 10? I would really like to be working in publishing, preferably like editorial type things, but anything that is like making books be created would be awesome. And obviously I would like to be a published author or a more frequently produced playwright. It would be really cool if Jax was in more places, because Jax is really fun to see, so I want to see it again. I really enjoy having people read my stuff and getting responses to it, which is part of the reason why this comic is so fun. So just something where my work is more accessible to the general public. Megathosaurus asks, which two fictional groups would you like to see meet each other? Example, Doctor Who and Sherlock. Ink stains on my jacket asked, whilst drawing, do you mimic the character's facial expressions / speak some of their dialogue just so you can get it perfect? I used to make the expressions all the time, and sometimes if I'm drawing a lot of scowly characters, I will realize I'm scowling. Don't do it as much as I used to, but definitely something that I sometimes do. But I talk to myself all the time. If the dialogue sounds authentic, it's because I've said it to myself a bunch of times to make sure it sounds authentic. And again, I'm always worried my housemate is going to walk in while I'm talking to myself and Dean's voice going like, Sammy, what's going on, Sammy? Or like, Dean, I need to talk to you. You know, just not good. But yes, I talk to myself all the time. It's a great way to make dialogue sound authentic, to test it out by saying it out loud. Rise of Albion asked, what universe would you rather be in out of the SOL verses? Not Supernatural, just because I'm pretty sure I would die, as much as I'd like to hang out with everybody. And Sherlock, I don't think, I like watching them, but I feel like they'd be terrible to hang out with, so I think I'd go with Doctor Who. I don't know if I'd want to be a companion. I'm not very good at running. I have terrible cardio. But maybe like Craig, like a stay-at-home companion on Doctor Who. I could handle like that speed of companionship. What inspired you to make this comic? Like actually sit down and really do the thing, asked The Doctor's Life in The Doctor's Life in Darker Hues asks, what inspired you to make the comic? Like actually sit down and really do the thing. What made me do the thing was it was January and we were on the Torn and Frayed hiatus, which was real rough. I had just gotten out of, holiday season at my retail job, so I wasn't getting a lot of hours, didn't have anything to do, was kind of feeling like super creatively useless, because I really wanted to do a comic, and I missed the feedback from having a webcomic previously and having a comic in my school newspaper. I just missed having that discipline of doing something that forced me to do art all the time. So I started doing this, and the response was huge right away, which was amazing and made me want to do it more. Well, I had just joined Tumblr, so I had just become aware that like 3 of the fandoms I was in were often connected, and I was like, whoa, ideas everywhere! And also there wasn't really, I found, like a super definitive one SuperWhoLock thing that everyone could point to and be like, that's the thing! And I was like, no one did a comic, so I could do a comic. So I just really wanted to play with the characters and practice for like maybe TV writing someday, you know, working with characters that aren't mine. Jontosaurus asked, got any tips for an amateur writer? Hey Jontosaurus. So something a lot of amateur writers struggle with is that if they're in a classroom setting, they have to write things that they're not necessarily all about. I know I had a genre fiction restriction in my creative writing class. I couldn't write anything fantasy, sci-fi. And the thing is, you have to learn to write outside your element to get better at your element. I know being forced to write not realistic short fiction really made me focus on storycraft and, you know, dialogue more so than falling back on a mythology or a world building. Like, it really forces you to look at the bare bones of storytelling. So basically just write something that makes you really uncomfortable and you really feel restricted by, and then take that and use it for what you like to write. And it's going to feel really sucky for a while, but ultimately it will make you a better writer. So do that. Duke of Nachos asked, what motivated you to make the comic? Kind of already answered that. What city do you live in? New York City! Yay! It's really expensive, and there's too many people and too many tourists. But I'm here, so yay! How are you today? I'm good. I did laundry. I went grocery shopping. I have a day off tomorrow. Went to Hobbit last night. It's all good. Darkest Elemental 616, hey! Asked, who are your top 5 SOL characters? How long does it take to do a page? Darkest Elemental 616 actually found me on the internet and had been reading another one of my webcomics and didn't know it was me and ended up following me twice. So, hey! Cass, Dean, Rose, Ten, and Watson. Not saying they're the best, but they're my favorites. I'm actually all about the idea right now of the guys from Supernatural meeting Odd Thomas from Odd Thomas. Because he's just like this dorky everyman psychic who like can talk to dead people and has a really bizarre sense of humor and morality. So it would just be really fun if like he was hitchhiking on the side of the road and they like accidentally picked up this weird goofball who can see ghosts and like had to deal with how strange he is. Like it would trust me. It would be great. So that's the end of part 1. I'm Alanna, because I didn't say that before. Nice to meet you. Watch for part 2. Yay!